We've had Dr. Paul Levinson on before. He's a good guest. He teaches communications and media studies at Fordham University, a fine school in the Bronx. He's the author of Fake News in Real Context. That book came out in 2017. You might check it out. And what'd you think of Koppel? That surprised you, what he said?
Yeah, it did surprise me a little because he only told half the story. The other half of the story is that the media report daily that Trump calls them, the media, the enemy of the people. In fact, just the other day he said the media are the absolute enemy of the people. That includes, by the way, Saturday Night Live, the New York Times, the whole enchilada. And frankly, if somebody were denouncing me as an enemy of the people, I would be all set to do anything I could to undermine and attack that person. If I see someone standing outside of my home with a bunch of matches and kerosene, I'm just not going to sit there and wait until they set my house on fire. I'm going to go out and confront that person.
All right,
And that's what the media are doing.
Doctor, who was first in this? I mean, you're having Trump label the media fake news because he is in a battle for the hearts and minds of the American people with the press. But who started the fracas? You're making it seem like Trump started the fracas. I don't believe that's true, is it?
Yeah, it is true. It started in January 2017, before Trump was inaugurated. He's conducting a press conference from Trump Tower in New York City, and Jim Acosta raises his hand. And rather than Trump calling on him, even for just a brief comment, instead, Trump gives Acosta a lecture saying, I'm not calling on you. You're part of CNN. You're fake news.
And what was CNN doing before Acosta was that confrontation to set Trump off? Look, from my research, I'll tell you a little bit of my research, and you can tell me. So, in the beginning, I did the first interview with Donald Trump when he announced for president. All right, June 2015. All right, first one. Trump at that point loved the media, loved it, and was manipulating the media far better than any of his rivals were. And that's why he got the nomination, because he used the media, who were more than happy to broadcast his rallies, to put him on every time he wanted to come on, because he got big ratings. Every time Trump came on, television went crazy, and they got big ratings. So he was everywhere. Trump loved the media then. But then, in the election of November 2016, Trump shocked the media that thought he was going to lose, and he won. And as soon as he won, it turned around. The media went after him. Started with Russian collusion, okay? And then on and on and on. That's when Trump turned and said, this is not fair, it's fake, and all of that. Am I wrong in that narrative right there?
Yes, and here's why. Because the media always go after the president and anyone who is in political power. That's their job. Their job is to be a watchdog on behalf of the American people and to report as fully as possible about what people in power, especially the president, are doing. Now, maybe back in the early 1960s, when the media were in love with John F. Kennedy, they didn't do that all that much. But anyone who remembers the kind of press coverage that Bill Clinton got, that George W. Bush got, that even Barack Obama got.
Obama had a honeymoon. There's a so-called saying in the journalism industry, there's a honeymoon period from when a president is elected to after he's inaugurated. There's a honeymoon period. Barack Obama got it because the press. Fox comprises about 15% of the national media output, if you look at their numbers. So it's 85 against 15. And talk radio also tilts in Donald Trump's favor. So you can add that on. But there was no honeymoon period. It went right into, well, the election's a fraud because Putin and his guys came in. Now, we're going to see in the next week or so whether that narrative is true or not, because the Mueller report will come out. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the media was the one that started the fake news controversy by its unrelenting attacks on Trump before he even got into the Oval Office, Professor. And that's documented fact.
Barack Obama never once called Fox News fake news.
No, but he criticized us pretty hard.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's
yeah,
what
I didn't mind.
Be the case. I know, but what Trump does is he's taken it to a whole new level. And by the way, let me just push back on a point you made earlier. I've seen in the New York Times and the Washington Post over and over again that say what Michael Cohen said in no way pointed to Russian collusion. So the media are reporting that.
Well, not in any meaningful way, though. Look, when I see the headline, Trump economy benefits Black Americans and Hispanic Americans on the front page of the Washington Post or the New York Times, then I'll see that they're at least trying to be balanced, but now they're not. Last word.
Well, because the media are making a decision. And when they see Trump doing what he's doing at the southern border, when they hear Trump, as we've just heard him, attack John McCain, who's been dead for 7 months.
But you know why he did that, right?
But it still was an horrendous...
No, but Professor, why did Trump attack John McCain? Why?
Because Trump was aggravated that McCain voted thumbs down on Obamacare.
That's not why. This latest round, I agree with you, it's foolish, but this latest round, Professor, and you should know this for your students, is because now we know from congressional testimony that John McCain was the man who took the phony dossier, which had all kinds of unverified terrible things about Trump, and gave it to the media and to the FBI. It was him. He did it. That's what launched Trump.
Maybe. By the way, he did it after the election. So
that's congressional testimony under oath. So you can't just go maybe. It's a matter of record. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thanks for the great debate. We really appreciate your time. I know you're very busy up there in the Bronx. Say hello to everybody up at Fordham for me, please.
I will. Take care.
All right.